I really find that I genuinely love my job and I genuinely love the company that I work for. And so I think that makes a world of difference. We're now in quarter 3. I'm still holding down the number one spot, but I do have a few reps that are creeping up behind me. My strength is cold calling, so I really think that that is a big part of it. But also embracing technology and using it to scale without losing that personal connection. In one area I took over, I developed a relationship and a rapport there, and many of them I introduced to Pepper online ordering. I also got their payments to be automated, because originally my day started and ended running from one account to the next to take orders and payments. So it really freed up my time. I was able to scale and open more business and just feeling comfortable going into new businesses and just opening up more accounts. I think that's what's catapulted me to that number one spot. And honesty, being transparent, and just trying to look out for their best interest. I would say those are the main ingredients to being number one. I would say I try to find one face or person that I just click with, whether it's the host or the busser. It doesn't always have to be a higher up, like the owner or the manager, and just trying to get some level of rapport. Oftentimes I'll find out some aspect of the business that I really admire, because being fully transparent, I want to feel good about the accounts that I'm working with. Maybe there's some aspect of the business I wouldn't really love, then it's maybe just not for me. I just try to really be genuine, and I'll go in and be like, oh my gosh, like those scones were absolutely amazing, or the ambiance, or the reviews, or some of the events that they do. I try to look at it from a consumer perspective and then build in a little bit of the professional rapport, so they understand that I do have a concept of what they do day in, day out, and the things that help their business be more successful. And then I try to segue into more of a professional connection. It seems to work so far. So that is the James Newbury Hotel. It is absolutely gorgeous. I had my eye on that business. I would just stop in and have conversations, just keep that connection going with the owners and some of the chefs and everything. Once they really allowed me to get my foot in the door, it was really to their benefit. It was just unwavering persistence, consistency, and I wasn't pushy. I wasn't to the point where I was like, hey guys, we have this on sale, or look at what we've got here. It was more like, hey, I love this place. I appreciate what you're doing here, and I would absolutely love to be a part of it. After a while, it worked out. We didn't actually go in with all of the accounts. We baby stepped our way in one at a time. We got this well-oiled machine, let's move on to the next spot. And that's how it worked until we did all of the spots. So it was definitely a huge success, huge success. It was about 10 months of real gentle persistence. And it's funny because during cold calling, there is no rhyme or reason. Sometimes it could be 3 weeks and it's very quick, and maybe it's serendipitous, or maybe the stars aligned, whoever really knows. But then there's other accounts, such as this one, it took a really long time. And I wouldn't say that it's commensurate with the length of time that you end up doing business together, because if it comes in quick, it might go out quick, right? But I don't find that's the case at all. In fact, there was one account that is one of my favorites. I actually was on my way from one account to another, and I got lost. I took a wrong turn. So as I was driving right off the highway, there was a little barbecue spot. I pulled off and I turned around, I went in there, and the owner just happened to be unloading his truck from Restaurant Depot, and we got a great conversation. And I was like, great, within 2 weeks they were set up, and that has been one of my steady go-to accounts. He's a great guy, and that was a definitely serendipitous moment. There was one aspect of the business that I really struggled to keep as even keel and standard as possible is pricing, because the two things that operators find most important is quality and price. It depends which one is first, depending on the type of operation and the operator. But for me, I like to automate as much as possible. And another thing is consistency is everything. What I did is I developed their own program. So that way, all of the accounts have the same pricing across the board because they are individual accounts. And we created a rebate program for incentives and different programs for their high key items. So that way, their big ticket items that they're ordering multiple quantities of can be at a lower discount for them. And everything else I have automated on a certain amount of a GP level. I have it set in my calendar every month or so to go in, gauge it against like wherever the industry is, and then go in and adjust it accordingly. We do have AFDR reports that we get in our purchasing department. They put out a lot of different industry trends and market insight reports that show the trends of poultry, meats, and dairy, and I go off of that. And also too, we do have our exclusive brands, and in full transparency, like this is a business, right? We want this to be mutually beneficial. So if there's something I know I can benefit from, I will never make a move if it's based on my own benefit. Like it has to be mutually beneficial in order for me to make that jump. So if there's something that we are selling that I know I get an incentive for, if I know that the customer will also get a rebate and it's better than what they're currently using, then that's a green light for me. Oh gosh, there are so many. Fallen on my face so many times, of course. There was one account that I had a great rapport and it was really wonderful. And I felt like I had to have that sales persona, trying to sell and push and not even trying to understand the business. So that did not work out well, especially as a hardcore Italian spot, very traditional Italian family. And here I am not having any clue what the difference is between blue cheese crumbles and gorgonzola. I knew nothing. And so not to understand the business and trying to be a pushy salesperson didn't work out to my benefit. And that was a really teachable moment. I pulled back. I took a break from cold calling to do a self-evaluation to keep myself in check and kind of go, what did I do wrong there? And what didn't feel right? I have a really strong passion about following your intuition and just doing whatever seems more natural and comfortable rather than forcing things. And so far it's worked out. And just being honest with myself, like, wow, Claire, that was terrible. Please never do that again. There's one quote that our VP said that I think about often is that he hires for character and he trains for skill. I think that's really true in the world of sales. It's more of a personality to be curious, open-minded, optimistic, and just open and willing to learn a whole new set of skills, leveraging all of your resources, brokers, really everyone. I think that's made a huge difference for me. I would say just immersing yourself because it's a whole other world out here, guys. It's been fascinating. So that's why leveraging technology, resources, and trying to be as efficient with your time as possible. And I think that's what's been so special about the company that I'm with. It's not very cookie cutter and robotic, and I'm not just a number. I walk into a room full of other people who are friends with their customers, or they go above and beyond and they genuinely have a passion for this entire industry and the job that they do. So I think that's really inspiring and kind of changing. It's really beautiful to love what you do and genuinely get excited to go to work every day. My advice is if you love it and you love the company that you work for, really embrace it and go all in.